Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the Funbox Monster Podcast. My name is Tristan, and this is my second take. That first one was embarrassing.
We made it 5 seconds.
Whew! And today, we're going to be talking about a movie with my friend Matt Awkward.
Hello.
Hi there. And
all cops are scanners.
ACAS. We got Scanner Cop 2 finally getting...
I'm gonna get you, Scanner Cop 2.
I'm also going to get you, Scanner Cop 2, as well. Yep. What a movie.
Wow.
Listen, this is a great movie. I don't care.
It's a melt movie in disguise.
Yeah. I mean, it's it's our pal John Carl Beekler.
Yeah, he's been on the show before.
I mean, he's been mentioned on the show before.
Many times.
How about
actually.
that?
Yeah.
But
so
yes,
he's been on the show.
Yeah, why not? Let's leave it at that. But he is he's amazing.
Yeah.
I love his stuff.
The effects in this are amazing.
The effects are great.
The effects are also redundant. Not redundant, but the delivery of them, I should say. Like everybody dies by one guy making funny faces and going
Yeah.
It gets to a point where it's like, come on. But in this one, the scanners have also honed their craft so they can do computer programming with their scans and like
I mean, that was set up in Scanner Cop 1 when he was
forklifts.
He was like, everybody get out of the way, let me touch this computer, and he just like scans it and gets all the information he needs.
He puts on we'll get to it.
Yeah. No, there's
he scans through phone lines and headsets.
Yeah, there's definitely additions to the scanning repertoire.
I thought they were going to be flying near the end. Like
I mean, honestly, at this point, it's like the evolution of the Force in Star Wars,
right?
Where like by the time you get into the 5th movie they've made, you're like, who can't fly at this point? Everyone can do everything.
When his mother fell off the building, jumping way to the end, like I was just like, oh, he's gonna catch her with the Force, right?
Yeah.
And I was like, oh nope, like oh my god, they really just threw his mom off a building. Damn.
Yeah, that was brutal.
Damn, movie, you going hard now.
Yeah, that was surprisingly brutal.
There's also 8 names for this movie. The copy I watched said Scanners 2, Vulcan's Revenge.
Yeah, that's what mine says too.
Okay, then there's but it's on tape. It's Scanner Cop 2, The Showdown.
The Showdown.
Yep.
Is it The Showdown? Yeah.
Yeah, and then on some releases, it's just called Scanner Cop 2. Like.
Yep. I mean,
too many cooks in the kitchen whipping up taglines. Whipping up subtitles. What do you call that? It's not a tagline.
I mean, I guess
it's not a subtitle because that means captioning. What's like Halloween 4, The Return of Michael Myers? What is that Return of Michael Myers called?
I don't know. The post-colon. You got me, man. I don't know what it is. All I know is that this is a film that I appreciate. I appreciate this one and the last one both for their. This is a theory I've had forever about movies like this. When you get a serious movie, it was proven with Aliens, you get a really serious horror movie. The next step is to take it and turn it into an action movie. Mm-hmm. And that's what they did. They made this into just like a dumbass action movie.
It is dumb.
Sure.
But it's super fun. But oh my gosh, there is not a lot of substance going on here.
This one, unfortunately, the first one had a lot more substance than this one. There's not a lot of plot.
Like, I'm the bad guy scanner eater. I'm going to eat scanner energy and get strong.
It really is.
I hate this cop.
That's
the whole fucking story.
Over and over again. I will say that the reason that he hates him was pretty good. When they revealed his backstory of why he was mad at him, I was like, whoa, okay.
And then he had that great dialogue. He's like, I'm going to kill you so bad.
I love that.
It's like a toddler writes the script in parts.
I mean, that is
great.
The best. I'm going to kill you so bad.
Kill you so bad.
The next thing that really needs to be pointed out about this movie before we get started is that there was a TV show on NBC called Heroes back in the day. And this is the TV show Heroes as well. This is the same plot as Heroes. Essentially, there were people with superpowers, and one of these people born with superpowers realized that he could cut people's brains out, essentially, and take their superpowers. Yeah. And it's the guy that played Spock in the new Star Trek movies. Yep. And he looks a lot like this guy. He kind of like, if they were related, I wouldn't have been surprised.
Oh, and I have seen a movie with this guy before. And we've covered one. He was the teacher one of the teachers in class of 1999.
Oh,
gym teacher.
there you go.
Yeah.
Because we were talking about
Earlier today about how I love this villain, and you've said I probably haven't seen anything because he's mainly the baddie in action movies.
He's a real action movie guy because he's a big tough guy.
Yep.
Like he's
like me.
He's like you. He's sort of like you, like a big tough football player type.
Burly AF.
Yeah, exactly. He's great. He's just like he's got a real angsty look to him, and he's like really big and tough, and he's a great villain.
Yep.
Really dig it. So, all right. Vulcan's Revenge. Let's get to it.
But not the live long and prosper Vulcan.
No, not that kind.
Even though you just talked about Spock.
That's true. It is funny though, because like imagine like the balls. There's another movie that did that too. That's like, our movie is so cool. You haven't even seen it yet, and you don't know any of the characters, but we're going to name this guy, and you're going to be like, oh, holy shit. Like, that's so crazy. That's so ballsy.
That they thought Vulcan was like a strong enough, like...
They thought that just, this is a cool name, so that's going to...
I mean, they got me. I was looking up Scanner Cop 1, because I didn't remember the damn movie, and I was just like, who is Vulcan? Yeah, I don't remember that name.
Yeah, I was thinking that was Richard What's-His-Face, but no.
Nope.
It's not. Yeah.
It's a new guy.
It's some new guy.
It's a new guy that I guess, I don't know, passed out on the street and he got picked up by cops. Is this what happened in the beginning?
I don't know what
jumped a cop, or... This whole movie's broken in a lot of ways. So,
I assume he did this on purpose, but to what end, I don't really know.
I think he just fell asleep.
Okay.
Or maybe he's going crazy because he doesn't take his ephemeral?
Ephemeral, yes. I mean, it could just be that it was vagrancy and they just wanted to be dicks. And
yeah, they said he was a drifter, yeah.
Okay, that might be it. So, the movie starts, there's some police banter over the radio. Cops show up at the station. They've dragged Patrick Kilpatrick, I mean, not Kilmeade. He's in the backseat. He's coming in. And they have like a police psychiatrist or
this
a
is what I mean when the movie's broken.
Doctor.
So they got this guy, and they're like,
they have like one cell in this place,
right?
Got,
it's a tiny podunk thing.
It's a 2-cop town that has one cell in it. Like everything looks like it's made out of wood paneling.
Yeah, and they're like, this guy's knocked out or something, so we need to call our doctor friend to come in. And he's just like, I was just sitting down to dinner. Like, why wouldn't you bring him to the hospital? Like,
I don't know.
Why did you disrupt the doctor at dinner to come?
Why did you even arrest him?
Yeah,
I mean, which is what the doctor says.
Yeah.
The doctor's like, why didn't you just let him drift?
Yeah.
He's a drifter. Then let him fucking drift. What is your problem?
Yeah.
Why are you costing taxpayers money for this?
That doctor's fish sticks are going to be cold when he gets back.
They sure are. That's very sad. Back. He's not going to make it back, unfortunately. Also, it is very irresponsible that they let him take a scalpel into that.
Oh, fuck yeah.
That's insane. Okay, so the doctor or psychologist or whatever comes in and looks at him, and he's looking him over. The guy's not saying anything, and he's like, blah, 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 blah. And then he's like, oh, also, he had these pills on him, and hands him a thing of whatevers. And he's like, wait, what? And he starts backing up because he knows that these are scanning suppressants. And too late, he has already possessed the sheriff's deputy, who then pulls a knife out of the doctor's bag, stabs him in the neck with it. He walks him out into the hallway. He psychologically walks the guy into the other room, makes him shoot the sheriff. It's good stuff.
It is good stuff.
It actually was really fun. And everybody kind of walks the same way, which is a tell that they're going to use later on in the film. It's all going to come together when they're being psychologically manipulated. So
I don't think that ever comes into play.
It does. It's literally in the showdown of the whole thing.
Nobody says he's walking funny. That's a bad guy, though.
Each time the two, so right at the end of the movie, he possesses two people.
Yep.
Our scanner cop possesses two people, and they walk funny.
The illusion.
Yes.
Yeah.
And so they're doing that same stiff walk.
But it still doesn't give it away. Nobody notices.
I feel like that was the whole point. That was why he thought that the third time it wasn't our guy. But
But it was?
Yes.
Oh.
But it wasn't.
Maybe I missed that. Okay.
Yeah, he was faking by walking funny.
Fake walking.
Yep. So,
Illusion, Michael.
Yeah. Yep. Okay, so he's killed those two guys, blah, blah, blah. There's a thing here where, for some reason, the sheriff had a photocopied picture of our scanner cop.
I think he had the envelope on him.
Oh,
that was like
that was something he
that was
took
his traveling scrapbook.
He took that from Carl Volken.
Yeah, Volken likes to reminisce about his past days as a serial killer.
Okay.
Before he got busted.
All right.
I think.
Right, because obviously he was busted by this guy, and okay, that makes some sense.
He's busted by Stasiak.
Let's just say Carl and Sam. Because they both have really stupid last names. I'm sorry to any listeners whose last names are either Stasiak or Volken.
But not spelt like Vulcan.
Although
Vulcan.
Although if your last name is Vulcan, that is not stupid. That's fucking awesome, actually. Okay, so let's see. Oh, so there was this scene where he's getting the sheriff's like dripping blood onto the photo of the scanner cop because he's getting scanned. And I thought that he was going to be like, oh man, I got a nosebleed. He grabs a handkerchief or whatever to wipe the blood away. In my mind, this scene went, he picks the thing up and he goes, and he's going to blow his nose and then his fucking head explodes.
That
and I
would
was
have
like,
been great.
Please do that. And it didn't happen. And we didn't even get his head exploding and he just falls down and he never dies the way that he's supposed to.
Yeah, that would have been awesome.
This was a real, like...
Scanner cold.
I was very happy to see later that there were effects in this movie because the first two kills of our movie were virtually bloodless and like no effects needed. And I was like, oh no, a Scanners movie without exploding heads is kind of not a movie at all.
Oh no, they'll get there.
And so we get some stuff. So
oh yeah.
You don't have to worry about that. Sheriff wasn't totally dead, comes out with a shotgun, fires it a couple of times, but whatever. Scanner's like, fuck you.
Fuck you can't
Kills
stop
him.
Scanner.
We get another chance for him to explode his head, but he doesn't. Now we go to a news report about the history of scanners.
Yeah.
This was so strange because it set me up personally to be like, oh, okay, this woman's a reporter. She's not a reporter. What the hell?
No, she was doing a promotional video for the, I don't know what it was, the Scanner Institute or... Institute for the Sympathetic Studies of Scanners, where they just pass out ephemeral to people, and they're like, you really need to get a doctor, though. I can't keep giving you these drugs. Here's these drugs.
Their whole job is to illegally give scanners ephemeral.
But if they don't have ephemeral, they go crazy and murderous. So, like, why wouldn't you ever give this to these scanners?
It seems like a real oversight by the U.S. government.
They wouldn't do that.
I mean... Oh my God, I'm literally like looking for parallels and I'm like, well, you know, like if somebody was dangerously psychotic, no, wait, no, they don't give them.
Yeah.
Well, if somebody, you know, that would be like letting them get a gun if they, no, wait, they let them do that. Oh yeah, the government doesn't work right, does it?
No, it doesn't.
Perfect. Okay, so this is exactly how it would go down. So
they're doing a promotional video to, I think, like educate people on scanners. Like, they're not monsters. They just need pills and we can...
Yeah.
Do that shit here.
But can you imagine? It's so crazy to me. Like the idea that
this was the world we lived in, Scanner world.
Right, exactly.
Yeah, oh yeah, not so.
So if you're living in Scanner world where 1/100th of the population is capable of making people's heads explode, or 1/10,000th.
Or it could just possess you and make you take your wiener out in the middle of the street.
Sure.
If you don't want to get to if they're not brutal and they're just pranksters.
Right. So like half of the crimes committed in the United States would be like people being controlled by scanners.
Yeah.
I mean, and also it sets up a world where it's like, oh yeah, scanners. It's like, you're not obsessed with this. There's not like cults of people who are just obsessed with scanners. This is like the most exciting thing that has ever happened. Psychic powers are real, and there are certain drugs that unlock them. You're telling me that the U.S. government wouldn't have rounded up every single one of these people
and turned them into
and
weapons.
Trained them as spies?
Yeah.
Because that doesn't sound right to me. That sounds... unlike the way that we do things. I mean, fuck. You're telling me that some billionaire fucking Charles Xavier wouldn't get a bunch of them just for shits and giggles to see what he could make out of it?
What if there was a Jackass-style show run by scanners?
Hell yeah!
And they made people take their wieners out in the middle of the street. I'm not getting off this.
No, it's mostly.
I just thought of it as cracking me up.
I think that your Scanner remake, where everybody just takes their wiener out, I think it's.
And they're just standing there, being like, "Stop! Don't look at me! I can't help it! I'm being scanned." Their nose is bleeding and their wiener's out, and they're just spinning around in circles.
Scanners 3, Wiener Cop. Yeah. Scanners 4, Wienergeddon. No. I don't know where we are.
Scanner pranksters.
This is not honestly the worst idea I've ever heard. It would be more like Zapped.
Yeah.
It would be like sort of like a, you know, has that started happening yet?
What?
Have we started getting to the point where we have, because obviously movies like those, like the 80s movies that we had, things like Revenge of the Nerds, you know, they're all so inappropriate and terrible.
Yeah, Zapped is right up there.
Zapped is in that same world.
Yep.
Have we had movies that flip that so that it's gender reversal? Have we had any of that kind of stuff? So that there's kind of like a revenge, so that it's like, you know, it's zapped, only the lady gets the power. Or
I don't know.
Or it's zapped, but a dude gets the power and it's other dudes that he's using it on. I mean, it's still inappropriate, but it just seems like turnabout is fair play. And it shocks me that we haven't had like some sort of...
Yeah, good call.
That's weird. That's very strange to me. Oh, well. Anyway...
Like the girl could make the guy take his wiener out in front of the class, and he could be like, "I can't help it.
I'm being scanned.
I'm being scanned."
Eddie Deason stars in Scanner University.
Jeez. He could probably use the job.
Oh boy.
And some meds.
Yeah, and a lot of meds. All right. Okay. So we get this recap of everything about scanners. For those who don't know, pregnant women took a pill that had a side effect of making dangerous telekinetic babies that go crazy from sensory overload, and the only way to stop them from experiencing too much of the world and going cuckoo bananas is to take the drug ephemeral, because it inhibits their psychic ability, so they can't hear absolutely every voice of every person in the city that they're living in.
But as we know from Scanner Cop's dad, who went 3 days without taking it, it drove him absolutely insane.
Yep. If you don't take it for 3 days, you go insane.
Vulcan's on day 4.
Yeah. And we find out why that is. Why he can make it to day 4 and still be functional. Because Scanner Cop's dad went violently psychotic. Where Vulcan is insane, but he's together. He's still functional and able to think. And we find out later that it's because he's sucking out the scanitude of the other scanners, and
he's a scanner eater.
He eats the powers of scanners. Also, his mom was a scanner. That doesn't make sense.
Who said that? Him?
Because when she killed herself, I'm not going to let you use me to hurt my son.
Oh, I didn't think that meant scannering at all. I thought that just meant like I wasn't gonna let you kill me.
Oh.
Or let you be like the bad guy towards me. Be like,
maybe. I thought that it was that she had scanning abilities.
Oh, I didn't think that at all.
Taking.
That whole scene's crazy, though.
That whole... Everything about
the nursing home scene is insane. We'll get there.
It's so fucking crazy. Oh, my God. Okay, all right. Okay, so we see that they're dispensing ephemeral out of the office that this person works in. We see our main crazy guy, and he's hearing voices, and he has a picture of our Scanner Cop in the car that he's stolen, and they're going to the transneural research center. Scanner Center. And
where she's doing scanner research and trying to find Scanner Cop's mom, who lives right in town, registered at a living facility. Like, she can't be that hard to locate.
No.
But she's having quite the hard time locating her.
Yeah, it's very interesting that she knows that her son is a cop. She knows where he is, but he doesn't know shit about her.
Yeah.
That's very strange.
It just adds to the nonsensical.
It adds to a lot
about
of
that
yeah.
makes no sense.
There's a lot of it. Okay, so there's a hot lady at the Scanner Research Center.
Oh, she is.
She is quite hot. And she's staying late to follow up on a lead for this scanner cop on his mom.
Yeah.
Her assistant, who looks kind of like a white Grace Jones, takes off here and leaves her alone. From out of nowhere, we cut to a Nakatomi Plaza style standoff. Oh, we get our cop part of our scanner cop here.
Oh my gosh, dude. Here's another scene that's like written by toddlers. Or not toddlers. Just it sounds like this is written by a 14-year-old. Like, then the baddies take over this thing and they're like, "Give me a helicopter or I'm going to blow the place to smithereens."
The place looks like an ice skating rink. Yeah. It's like, what is in this place that they're going to blow up? It looks like maybe a pre-K or something. Like, it's a big round building. Could be a synagogue. I don't know. Like, it just
there's just four thugs. Like,
it doesn't look like a high security building.
And the lead bad guy has like a very cartoony thug voice. Like, "You better do what I say, copper, or you're not going to have enough body bags."
Which that's so presumptuous of him. Come on, this is the LAPD. They've got a lot of body bags.
They got a lot of body bags.
I bet they've got plenty of body bags. I wouldn't worry about that, Mr. Terrorist. Anyway.
Do you notice Kane Hodder is one of them?
I did notice that. That was pretty good. So cops are milling everywhere, and from out of nowhere we see Robert Forrester. And I'm like, big name.
They got a guy.
You got a guy in this movie.
Good job, movie.
Good God. And he tells our scanner cop that he's our only hope.
Yeah.
These guys are done negotiating. Now you're our only hope.
We've been standing there for hours, waiting for the helicopter. Do you think any thugs like this have ever gotten a helicopter? Like, this is such a movie cliche. Like, "We want $1,000 and I need a helicopter."
Yeah.
Like, does that ever work? I couldn't find information online. I actually searched
That's
Google.
a good
Google,
question.
Like, did hostage takers ever get a helicopter?
Have they ever gotten a helicopter?
Yeah.
I bet they have. I bet at some point part of the deal would be to actually get a helicopter down there, and I don't know that they've ever gotten on it. I assume that it's just an excuse to take them out with snipers or whatever.
Yeah.
But they probably have had helicopters land at least. Anyway, so Scanner Cop gets his flak jacket on and puts on his headset mic, and he goes to work. We find out that Sam is not taking ephemeral, but he's taking a special secret ephemeral that nobody else knows about, that allows him to keep his scanning ability and not go insane.
It pays to have friends at the scanner center.
So, sure. I mean, I guess I get it. I get why you wouldn't.
And why not take a mind-altering drug if you're a cop with a gun?
Of
That's
course.
Experimental.
But he's also, I mean, what I was wondering is, why is it all ephemeral, the kind that leaves you with your magic powers? And I guess the answer is that probably, the government doesn't
want people
running around with psychic powers. No, it's probably not a good idea, especially because they could literally go to political events and be like, "Oh, nuclear codes. That's what they are. I'll write that down in my notebook."
And now explode your head for fun. Boom!
Just because I feel like it. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, imagine the world that you have there. It's just like you'd be looking in crowds at political events. This guy, he's making a face. Get him!
Yeah. And then there'd be jerks just doing it, like, for
making
the hell of
face.
it. That'd be
like
me. I'd just be like,
"Oh no, he's a scanner."
No, I'm not. Just fucking with you, bro.
Just being a jerk. Yeah. That would be a really scary world.
Yeah.
So, all right, the terrorist inside says, "You'd better hurry up because you don't have enough body bags." And it's like, we've got, and we cut back to the hot lady. She gets a fax because it's the 90s. Blah, blah, blah. It's a hot lead. She calls Sam and leaves a message while he's doing his work. Doesn't matter. But Sam sneaks into the building by scanning one of the terrorists and having him let them in.
Which is cool.
That was cool. he.
I like the dialogue here where it's just like where the guy opened the door. He's like, thanks a lot, dickhead. And the guy's like, no problem, officer. He's all like under.
Yeah. And he asks him how many people. He gets all the logistics. He's like, how many people have you got in there? How many guns? What's going on? Blah blah blah. Finds out how many hostages, etc.
But then gets to jump by some other thug.
Yes.
Coming down the stairs, he's like, oh crap! So he uses his scanner to shoot that guy across the room.
Yep.
Takes his gun and knocks out the other guy. And then he does the thing.
Yes. He gets the headset of the other guy, and because scanning works over radio waves, I guess. I don't know, man. I don't know how scanning works. Maybe it does.
It's fucking cool, though. He starts scanning into the headsets of the baddies, and all the baddies have their one earpiece that starts melting all of their ears. Like, here's where we start getting our first effects, and it's a melt movie. Yeah. The headsets just start heating up, and people pull it away slowly, and it looks great.
Really gross. Yeah. Kane Hodder gets his ear melted off.
Yeah, his is the best.
And but the main terrorist, our big bad guy, he gets his headset off in time. He doesn't get his ear melted.
And he sets his time bomb. He wasn't bluffing about having a bomb to blow up the building.
He really did have a bomb.
But luckily, Scanner Bomb Squad is there. And this scanner cop can disarm a bomb with his scan?
Yeah, he can. I mean, so far, with all the stuff that he's done so far, it's not out of the realm of possibility to believe that he can disarm a bomb just by looking at it.
I don't believe it.
I mean,
I saw it happen, so it's got to be true.
It's got to be true. Listen.
Oh my gosh, that's far-fetched.
It's amazing.
I thought he was gonna shoot the bomb out the window or something with scan powers.
Shoot it out the window.
Yeah, but then he was like, nope, I diffused it with my mind powers.
Because that's the least interesting thing you could have done. Which is, again, this movie suffers from lack of money.
It would have been hilarious if he did throw it out the window and it just landed on the cop party downstairs. He's like, oh, I thought they were on the other side.
The terrorist did that. Everybody here? Yeah. You saw the terrorist do that, right?
The terrorist do that, right? That guy hates cops.
Yep. So, yeah. All right.
Missed opportunity.
I like that when he kills that guy, the main terrorist is like, "You cops are lying pigs." Pretty funny.
Yeah, he was a cartoon character.
Yeah, he really was. So they don't blow the place up. Everything's fine. And meanwhile, the evil scanner has broken into the hot lady's building.
Her name's just Hot Lady now.
I don't know. What is her name?
I don't know.
See, there you go. I don't fucking know. She's a shockingly attractive woman.
Yes.
I'm sorry. I apologize. It's really all I could think of was the fact that she was attractive. Okay, so they hire. Well, it stands out in a movie where you cast normal people and then cast a literal.
And she was a literal model.
You cast a literal supermodel as like the main character. It stands out and looks weird.
Okay.
Let's see. She's actually also a decent actress. Yeah. That's what's confusing to me. She had like kind of a shit career.
She's been in tons of things.
But like not a ton.
Like mostly TV shows and stuff.
Yeah. It just surprises me that she didn't do more stuff.
So she's hanging out at the scanner center when what's his nuts busts in. Or not busts in, but breaks in.
He does break in, he breaks in using his psychic ability to manipulate
keypads. Yeah.
It's being, you know what? It's been a long time since I've seen the first Scanners movie.
I've never seen it, so
I wonder if I feel like that's probably canon from the beginning of this series that they can fuck with machines.
It could be. I want to say I have seen it back when I was like 14, but it's been like since then, so I don't remember a fucking thing. But yeah, it just seems. I thought it was just head stuff. I didn't think they had all this techno power.
It seems like more of a Cronenberg thing to be like only that.
Yes.
For some reason, I also remember I don't remember it being a thing where I feel like it was like a Highlander thing, where it was like the scanners would know that there was another scanner there,
There can be only one.
And they would try and the crazy guy, the Michael Ironsides scanner, would try to kill everybody who wasn't him. But I don't think that they were like killing normal people. Maybe they were. Who knows? It's been forever.
I should really watch that.
I should. I remember loving it when I first saw it, but I haven't seen it in years. Okay, I'm too busy watching Scanner Cop 1 and 2.
I know.
Screw this David Cronenberg guy. What I love is unnamed director number 3 from Scanner Cop 2.
Yes, give me the trash.
God, I love garbage.
Same.
People keep talking about things where they're like, it's okay to watch trashy movies. You balance it out by watching some good ones. And I'm like, yeah.
Yeah, that's what I do. I totally balance it out.
I'm always watching good movies. Nope. Sorry, I just watched.
Dude, I legit don't watch real movies anymore. I can't remember the last non-genre or serious art film I used to. I used to
do that all the time.
Yeah, I'd be I'm exploring all these old 60s things and stuff like that.
Something has happened to me.
Now it's just I just want garbage. I just want dumb fun.
Did we just get dumber maybe in the last 10 years?
Yes.
Okay, good.
We're losing it.
You know what? I think maybe we've become aware of our mortality and we're like, I'm not going to waste any more time watching art films. I could be watching Scanner Cop.
2.
And
wishing there was a third.
I very much wish that there was a third. This actor, aside from looking like Brad Dourif, what else can he do? He can be a scanner.
Cop.
2. Only that. So, yes. Okay. So she sees the guy breaking into her office. She calls 911.
I like this part because usually when you see this in movies, I thought she was
Smart.
going to go out there and be like, "Excuse me, sir, we're closed." You know what I mean? It's oh no, she actually quietly went into a room and called the cops. Oh my gosh,
the fact is,
the character's making a smart decision in a horror movie.
Right. But again, when you're somebody who deals with psychics who can make your head explode and who have a tendency to become violently psychotic, you're probably a lot more likely to dodge real fast. But I also like the way that this went down. Basically, she dials out, and the only way that he knows that she's in the building is that he looks at the phone and at just the right time sees that the line is lit up. And so he's like, oh, there's somebody here. I should go fucking kill her, I guess, or suck her soul out.
Is she a scanner?
She is a scanner.
Okay.
Yeah, she's a scanner. They're all scanners. Her assistant is a scanner. She's a scanner.
Oh, okay. Everybody that works at the scanner center is a scanner.
Yeah. They have a vested interest in the world of scanning.
Okay. Non-scanners need not apply.
Ooh. I think, again, because of the thing that I said before about the violent psychotics that can make your head explode, maybe people who have experience being scanners are the only people who really want to work there.
Yeah, because they can stop the head exploding by also making funny faces back.
They can also make the funny faces unless they have been taking too much of their... God, I would be so tempted to take limited doses.
So you just have a little scan power?
I want a little bit of it left.
Just a little taste of scan.
Give me a little bit. I don't want to hear every thought that everyone has because, of course, you'll go insane, but it would be kind of neat. That's why I think that people would be obsessed with it because everybody would want this ability.
Yep.
It would be a bunch of people trying to get that from whatever that weird drug was.
But no, the drug just suppresses a scan. You got to be born with it.
Well, you're born with it because your mother took a pregnancy drug.
Yeah.
And so whatever that pregnancy drug is, I think people would be obsessed with.
Oh, okay.
I don't know what that was. I think this was right on the end of the thalidomide thing. And so it was pregnancy drugs were in the general consciousness.
Gotcha.
I think that's why this is Scanners was kind of like a scare film about thalidomide.
Satire kind of thing.
Yeah, it's just the same thing it's a horror movie that comes out of a real life horror. Just It's Alive was another one that kind of came out of that same.
Oh, I love that trilogy.
We'll do that eventually. Island of the Alive is one of the funniest movies I've ever seen in my life.
And Michael Moriarty is off the chain in that.
He is. Yeah, he is let free to do whatever the hell he wants. Do love that.
Yes.
Okay, so
our scanner tries scanner eating our lady here.
She fights back.
Yep.
And she's
nowhere near as strong as him, though.
Because she's on the suppressant. Yeah. And he almost gets her. But what's interesting is he's like in the middle of scanning her, and I guess he'd never scanned a scanner before. And he's like, "Ooh, there's something here." And he starts like touching her chest.
Oh, is
like,
that how he figured out?
Yeah,
he could
yeah.
do that?
This was the moment that he figured it out, because she later is like, it seemed like he was experiencing something that he'd never seen before or whatever. And he kind of like touches her chest and is like trying to get this ability out of her somehow. Because we see later that scanning ability is like located in the heart, because it's like pulling their hearts out almost somehow. Very strange.
He's trying to get Sam's address from the computer, but he can't because
she's locked it with her
scanner powers.
Yep.
Because again, the scanning power gives you supercomputer programming powers.
It's pretty cool.
Yeah.
I mean, again, just if you're
it's a hell of an encryption.
Right, exactly. If you're gonna assume that he can, if from the last movie he can use his scanning ability to mess with a computer, it's a great way to encrypt information about scanners. I mean, it doesn't really help if you have a bunch of scanners that want that information, but I guess the encryption only works for her. So she unlocks it for him, but oh yeah, no. Why doesn't he kill her?
Because the cops come, because she did get through. Right, so he hears the police sirens, and he's like, "Oh, I'll stop now.
Fuck it, I'll stop scanning.
I can't possibly fight cops."
Yeah, I couldn't possibly fist fight cops. That guy's a fucking monster.
Yeah. He has no problem fighting cops later on, but like this time it's like 2 cops are coming.
Yeah. But he finds the address, and then he goes to Scanner Cop's house, breaks in, eats cold spaghetti threateningly out of his refrigerator, which is a great scene. There's something about that. I've seen that in a lot of movies. Something about like a dude. It's a Rorschach thing. It's a Rorschach thing. Grabbing food and eating it with your hands because you're just a fucking animal.
Fine like this.
Yep. Herm. Yep. So he straightened some photos, which was nice of him. I appreciated that.
Scanner Cop sucks at decorating.
No kidding. His house is ugly as shit.
And he's just like, I think I'll put 4 pictures all awkwardly framed with no uniformity right here on this one little pillar, nothing else anywhere.
He's got like a Western theme to his house too, which is like gross. It's like, it's super 70s too. Scanner Cop.
Shape up, Scanner Cop.
Yeah, seriously. But he didn't have a gun when he went in, but he found Scanner Cop's shotgun. Didn't look, one of my pet peeves in movies, he didn't look for the spare ammunition anywhere. He just got the shotgun and was like, I'm fine with these two shells. That'll do.
And then he waits by the door to shoot Scanner Cop, but I guess Scanner Cop's psychic now? Because this doesn't happen anywhere else in the movie. Like, he knew dude was there.
Scanners can sense each other. Like when they go into that is a thing that's been with scanners the series forever.
Is that what's happening? Okay.
Is that like when they get within like 20, 30 feet of each other, they're like, there's something here. There's something weird in this room that's disturbing me. And like for some reason it sets off their spidey sense.
So luckily he jumps and gets avoids the buckshot.
Yeah. And he goes in, evil Scanner has used all of his rounds, and Scanner Cop has a gun and the ability to take this guy down. He can do both.
Yep.
He could scan him. There are so many moments when the combination of having a gun and his scanner powers would have easily ended this if he just used them together.
Yep.
Like, he knocks him over at least 4 times in this. And it's like, okay, he's on the ground now. Shoot
Get him.
Yeah, yep. Shoot him. He's really dangerous. Shoot him. but
instead they have a funny face battle.
They have a funny face
this
battle.
movie, this is the first one, and it's not going to be the last.
It is not.
So many funny face battles.
But this time, Scanner Cop's funny face is much more powerful than Carl's funny face. And so he wins the funny face battle, and Carl runs off into the... Vulcan runs off into the distance. Carl is not as threatening as Vulcan, is it? I mean, Vulcan runs off into the distance.
And Stasiak proves how much of a crap shot he is.
And then cops show up?
Yeah.
I was like, wow, there's always a cop around when you need one. These cops show up right away.
I guess they heard the door.
I mean, they probably heard the shotgun.
I mean, they could have been just patrolling the neighborhood.
Wow,
Maybe a loud
that
gun.
Doesn't sound right. But they do, and they go in, and instead of being able to follow the perpetrator, he's held back by these two police officers, finally gets them his ID and blah, blah, blah. Which, I mean, here's the other thing about this. Again, it's like this guy would be like having fucking Superman on the police force.
Yeah.
It would be like, who are you? Look, I'm the guy from the other planet that can like throw tanks and like sometimes I turn the revolutions of the world around to fix time if something really bad goes on. Strange visitor from another world. You're not familiar?
Yeah, they have no idea who Scanner Cop is.
Sorry, nobody's told me about you. I'm a fucking Scanner Cop.
I am the Scanner Cop.
Has that not come up in police bulletins at all at the fucking department? It seems
I thought about that too, but then I thought, do you know how many cops there are in LA? It's like thousands. So it's like,
sure, but
you might just not have ran into Scanner Cop yet.
That's insane. I mean, you would.
And the world is not obsessed like you said, like in this. There's just like scanners, ho-hum. So maybe it's not a big deal.
I mean, he was on the front page of the paper.
Because he's a hero scanner.
But that was from one instance where he was a hero and took down Richard Lynch.
Rookie done good.
Yeah, I think that's all. So...
he's been on a dry spell.
Yes. So now we leave and we see Vulcan in the alley watching a pickpocket scanner who's like scanning ladies and dudes and stealing their wallets.
Yeah, he just basically scans you so you ignore everything, and then he grabs your wallet, and then he unscans you and just walks away.
He's just a really shitty pickpocket.
That's a shitty thing that would happen in scanner world, though. Yeah.
That's the most realistic thing.
Exactly, yeah.
Is that it would just be used for shoplifting mostly.
Yep.
It would just mostly be like people walking in, taking money out of store registers and shit like that. But
renting hotel rooms that you never got rented out.
Yep. Hey, also happens.
I never rented that room. I never rented that room.
Yep. So he watches him do this and then confronts him in the alleyway. And he's like, "Hey there, buddy. You got something I want.
I'm hungry."
Which is an actual line. And that's kind of what he starts saying. Is, "I'm hungry." And then proceeds to suck the scanning power right out of the guy's heart. And we get some big, meaty scanning effects. And
I've never seen something so cool that goes on too long.
Yeah.
Like, my God, this guy just keeps, like, sucking the soul, and the other guy keeps melting, and the melt effects look amazing.
Yeah, they do.
But there's only so many times you can keep cutting back and forth between funny face going and the other guy going.
I agree.
And I'm just like, oh my God, will you suck this fucking Shang Tsung this fucker already? Jesus.
What I love is this.
Wrap it up, buddy.
I'm sure a lot of other effects companies do this, but like Buechler's really smart about getting shots where he can replicate it in the effects lab, so it can be just like in his place. So they're like, it's an alleyway, so you get this brick wall, and like, sure, there's the set of the brick wall.
Yep.
But the melt effects are never like, you never see the alley. You just see him against the brick wall, and then the big effects shot.
Yep.
Because they're doing it right there, right in the studio, in their effects place.
Oh, okay.
Which is brilliant.
Yeah.
I mean, I assume that's what they're doing. That it's a smart way to do it.
Yeah, because you never saw them in the same frame either.
Right,
like,
exactly.
Once the
You don't
started.
need to. You just need to do this thing, and it can all be second unit, and it's like you can take your time and get it right instead of having to, shoot it with all the actors around and all that other shit. It's just good time saving and smart money. So
I hope he gets to find somebody else to soul suck later on too.
Don't worry, he will. So Carl sucks the life out of him and yells, "The power!" And unfortunately, instead of exploding people, he turns them into greasy mummies, which is...
And he always says yes when he's done too. Yes! Which is awesome.
That is pretty funny.
Love it.
And then he does some less exciting things like scanning his way into a hotel room by scrambling the hotel owner's brain.
Descrambling the porn channel he didn't pay for.
That would be the number one use. At this
time.
The Spice Channel would not stand a chance. Their business model would be doomed by scanners.
People be scanning the Super Bowl like that. Come over to my house. I'll scan up a game for us.
Oh yeah, I think Bill in accounting's a scanner. Maybe we can invite him to the Super Bowl party and we can get it for free. That's great. Okay, so cops find the scan mummy in the alleyway, and Sam finds some ephemeral on the corpse. A good cop would go, well, that's an interesting coincidence. It's a scanner who was killed by a scanner.
Yep.
Cool.
No.
Nope. So Sam visits the trans-dimensional scanner center, whatever, and he finds out that Carrie is in the hospital. Carrie is the hot lady.
Oh, we have a name.
Yes, I found out that her name is Carrie because I wrote it here. Sam goes to visit her, and this guy's a dick. He's done this multiple times, and last time he did it, he drove somebody insane in the first movie. Oh, that's
right.
And now this time he's like, I'm gonna push it this time too.
Yeah, no coma arrest. I need your help.
Yeah. Quit slacking. He puts a pen in her hand and is like, hey, do a perfect drawing of this person.
And she does. You know what I want to. You know what I wanted. I was trying to make like a meme out of this scene because I was just hoping you had like a scene where you could see it, then show the clipboard. I wanted the final drawing to look like that leprechaun from the news story.
How much better would that scene have been if she draws it and it's just like a stick figure with curly hair?
And she holds it up and he looks at it and he goes, Vulcan.
I guess the drawing talent must be his?
Yeah.
I'm confused. Does he know that she can draw? Does he unlock the drawing powers of her mind? I don't get this.
Thing. You don't understand.
It's just like that bumper sticker I'm always seeing. It's a scanner thing.
You wouldn't understand. You should make that.
I think probably that's going to be the Funbox Monster podcast merchandise. Next move is a bumper sticker that says, it's a scanner thing you wouldn't understand. Okay.
And we won't forget that because we don't forget anything.
Never.
We're brilliant.
Just constantly remembering these ideas. So, good thing this guy's super weird looking because she nails it.
Oh, yeah.
Anyway, an orderly pulls him off and nearly kills her because he breaks the connection. Because evidently that's a bad thing. He's like, oh no, scanning her nearly killed her. Let me scan her back to life.
I like that. Well, they also didn't tell the nurse they were cops, I don't think, or anything. They're just like, we need to do something. Like, get out for a minute. We need to do something. And it's like, who the fuck are you? So she's like, I'm going to get an orderly. Like, I don't blame her.
I wish he'd gotten a disorderly.
I just love that they have this big burly orderly just like ready to fuck shit up at a drop of a dime. Like, I'm getting an orderly. Like, seriously, a second later, it's just like, who the hell are you?
It is good that it's a big, giant, tough guy that could come in and like rough up some cops. But yes, so apparently, I mean, the part of this that's dumb is that like first thing he does is like, I'm gonna get you to do some spirit writing. Okay, but you also knew that you had the ability to break her out of her coma with scanning powers. Why didn't you do that first? Like, he's like, oh, I can only do that in an emergency because it really makes me sleepy.
Because if she was actually awake, she couldn't. It's like being in hypnosis. If she was actually awake, she'd be drawing that stick figure thing.
Perfect. That's it. That's it. Okay, so Sam recognizes him as a guy who he busted and whose brother he killed. So now we know that this sounds like a perfect recipe for revenge. We know why he hates him, all of that. They go and visit the prison where Carl was being held, or the psych ward where he was being held, and find out that he's gone 4 days without ephemeral.
And busted out of a joint.
He's like, my dad went insane after 3. And so they show the video of the scanner ward where Carl was going insane. A guard goes in to beat him up, and he blows up some heads, I assume, off screen.
I love the sound he makes in this scene when he walks off camera. After he's scanned it, broken up, he's like, I was like, what?
I was so impressed by that. Do you think that was like an outtake that he didn't think they were going to use?
I think so. I think he was just meant to make like some weird guttural noises, and it was like it sounded so silly, but they were just like, "That's the one."
That sounded very silly. Captain K.
Yeah, right.
And this disappointed me. I'm not going to lie, because this was a really good excuse to have really cheap effects, because you've got this video thing. It doesn't need to be high resolution. I was expecting that 2 heads were going to explode here. Like, I thought that we were going to see, because of the way that the shot was framed.
Yeah, it's far off, too.
It's far off, and we had one closed door where a guard gets killed, and he just hits the wall, and we don't see anything.
Yep.
That was a perfect excuse to have just like blood hits the wall and explodes. Oh shit, his head exploded. Oh shit, the other guy's head exploded, and then he goes down the hallway. But then,
man, this is why people like you have prejudice against scanners. You know,
that's
scanners would be like, there's a lot more to us than just exploding heads.
Is there though?
No.
Is there anything interesting other than that? Feels like that's
that'd be like a racist term, like head poppers. People would call them.
Oh yeah, absolutely. But I mean,
got that freak head popper on the force.
Right, but okay, but it would be like, you go to see the Rolling Stones and they don't play Satisfaction or something. You know what I mean? It's like, come on, I get it, but you're a scanner.
Yep.
Blow the guy's head. Come on, man. Play the hits.
Yep. Blow the guy's head up.
Well, yeah, I don't know. So, okay. Warden lists all the dead guys and says, that's right. This was the good zinger that Sam gets in on his police chief when he's like, Warden's like, got 3 dead guards.
Oh, yeah.
Got this thing, got an escaped mental patient, scanners, this guy's in the hospital, this and this. It hasn't been a good week. And Sam goes, it's only Wednesday.
Yeah. I love it.
Wow. Dude, sensitive. Okay, so Sam brings the newly uncombed Carrie back to the scanner center, and they're trying to figure out why this guy's killing scanners. She explains that weird little moment that she had with him where she was attacked. And
then she references, I think, the first movie, right? She was like, "There's an incident in '81 in Toronto."
I think
that's the first movie.
Okay.
So they somehow find out their info that way, I guess.
Yeah, could be. Yeah. That's so weird.
Yeah, it doesn't make sense.
Yeah, okay.
Call, who cares?
Yeah.
And then I think we joined Vulcan at the laundromat.
Oh yeah. Yes.
For an identical scene of the alleyway, but this time at a laundromat with a woman.
Right. Yeah, she gives him the information about his mom before he leaves, and then he's like, "Yeah, well, I got bigger fish to fry right now," or whatever. And yeah, Sam brings the tape of Carl murdering all the guards to the police department here, and he's like, "Here, we just played this. Let's play it again. This is what you're up against." I'm like, wow, he does make crazy noises. This is terrifying. So there's also a thing where we juxtapose this with Carl recalling the moment. Carl's in a bathtub. And
funny shot.
And it's a weird looking shot, but he's recalling the moment that his brother died, and we finally get to see what actually happened, and it's pretty cool because our scanner cop was like
made Carl move his gun and shoot his own brother.
Yeah, because they had taken hostages and he had no other choice, but still pretty brutal.
Yeah.
So in addition to like just the fact that he made him kill his own brother, he also like totally emasculated him as a scanner. Mm-hmm. Was like, no. You suck at this. Let me show you how it's done.
I'm going to kill you so bad.
I'm going to kill you so bad, Scanner Cop 2. And, yep. And so Carrie's assistant comes in and solves the entire thing by mentioning the thing in Toronto in the 80s. She's like,
I saw this movie called Scanners once.
Maybe this is what this is about. It's time for us to look for the ISIS report. Carl steals the life force of a random lady in a laundromat here. Which was good.
It's good, but also goes on too long.
It goes
it's
on
just the same fucking funny face shit again.
Lots of ultra slime though in this one, where she's like gooping up the the laundromat as she falls down on the ground. I like how many like middle-aged ladies are scanners in this. I thought that was kind of an interesting part of this. It was just kind of like normal people.
Yeah.
It wasn't like, which doesn't jive with what I would imagine would happen in the real world. You would think that most of the people who had scanning ability would be like famous because they could make themselves famous.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
no man, they just take ephemeral and do the laundry.
I mean, maybe it gets to a point where you're sick of controlling people's minds.
Yeah.
Who knows?
It's a curse, not a blessing.
Maybe. Okay. Cleaning staff calls the cops, and the cops are there while he's taking this lady's scanning soul, whatever, and they hear her scream, and they get there too late, of course.
Yep. Oh yeah, because he rented that hotel room.
It's the same hotel, but he didn't rent it. And remember, the guy
rented.
Yes, he rented it.
And that guy just kept saying, "I never rented that.
I never rented the room.
I never rented that room."
Yeah, scanner. We got it.
Yeah, scanner.
God, guys, you live in scanner world. You should be expecting this kind of thing. Okay. This is good. So the cops know that they're looking for a fucking scanner, but everybody gives this guy a chance. Like, they're always giving him like 2 or 3 seconds. We know how cops are. They're just constantly wanting to let people have a second to think. Freeze. Let me make sure that you don't do anything. It's like, come on, man.
So take him out.
He would be so dead. But they constantly give him a chance, and so they always get controlled. He controls a cop, walks him through the hallway, uses him to kill a whole bunch of people. This was very... I actually kind of like the fact that they counted the shots in the clip.
Yeah.
That was kind of funny.
And he was like, reload.
Yeah. He kills a couple more.
Yep, then he gets away and runs into an iron factory, I guess.
I guess so. Something.
And he's like, I'm going to play in this factory now.
It was kind of cool.
Yeah.
Carl controls a forklift and tries to crush Sam with it. That was kind of cool.
Yep.
They have a scan battle over the will of the guy who's running it.
It's a 3 funny face battle here because Carl's trying to make the forklift guy crush Sam. Sam's trying to make the forklift guy not crush him, and they're both like telling the guy like, "Crush him! Don't crush me! Crush him!" And the forklift driver's head's all like, "My head's gonna explode!"
Yep, he's getting all bubbly.
And then, much to Tristan's dismay, it does not explode.
It does not explode because Carl's like, you know you're going to kill him if you keep going.
And Sam's like, fuck.
And he's like, well then, I'll use my anti-forklift powers.
Which would have been probably much better to use in the first place.
Yeah.
Instead of making poor guys' blood vessels
weird,
blow up.
Right, that you would go...
He's like, okay, fuck, I can't mess with his head. I'll just go... I'll make this hand of the forklift and let me go.
Yeah, so he short-circuits something in that, and it lets him go. Then Carl gets away by scanning some guy who has some random dude with a car.
Yep.
He just drives him off. Scanner Cop hasn't slept in 36 hours, so, he's doing great. He's got a gun... He's on experimental medication and hasn't slept in 36 hours. Yay! He's like the trucker equivalent of a police officer. This is good news for everybody. So Carrie calls Sam and invites him to dinner. And because she's got important information for him that could not possibly be told over the phone.
Yeah.
It's because the script needed him to leave. So whatever. Or needed her to leave before Carl could break into her office because she couldn't be there that time.
And he can scan her computer now.
Yep.
And he finds out where Scanner Cop's mom lives.
Yep. And he finds his own file, which has something important in it that we're not allowed to know, which was weird.
Oh, yeah.
And we never find anything out about it. He's holding his own file, and it's like, aha. Nope. Never comes up again. Never comes up again. Carrie tells about the thing in Toronto, which is basically exactly what we already know about everything that's going on, so it doesn't matter. And then Carl finds some lady who looks like Reba McEntire and sucks her soul out through a screen door, which leads to an amazing effects review.
Yes! This was screaming husband.
This was the second of our middle-aged ladies who were scanners. Fucking PTA meetings go exactly the way that they want them to. Yes. I don't think my son's going to be having 2 spaghetti dinners today. So, let's see.
And this book will not be allowed in this library. Scanner Karen.
Oh, man. Holy shit.
The book has a pee-pee in it. Nobody can see that.
They'll give the scanner license to pretty much anybody. As Scanner Cop has showed us. I think we could probably make a Scanner's movie like that.
Yeah.
Okay. So Sam reveals that he has a necklace.
Yeah.
He's like, oh, this little necklace? This reminds me of my mother. Oh boy. This is going to come up not ever again.
Not at all. I forgot it. I didn't even...
Why did they do that? They're constantly like showing us stuff that looks like it's going to be relevant and then it's not.
Well, maybe they did and it got cut. I mean, that's one of those kind of things like this. Yep.
Could be. Okay. So, Carl finds Carrie's assistant making a piece of welded art because half the movies of the late 80s and early 90s had a quirky female character who welds metal sculptures.
I love it, too, because Carrie also says that she just moved here last week. It's like, that's a pretty well set up art studio for a week. Yeah.
Jesus. That's
like,
a good
my friend
point.
is dead. She just moved here last week. It's like,
I didn't even think about that.
Her whole apartment was filled with art she's making, and it looked so lived in.
Yeah. That's insane. Huh. And this was really actually kind of sad. I hated this one.
The couple death?
It was like the couple death. I was like, oh, that's kind of depressing in a weird way.
He's scanned and sucked and smushed all together.
Yeah, and they turned into a shunt pile.
Yeah.
Kind of gooed
They turned into an art sculpture. That was the gimmick.
Oh, there you go. Okay, I get it.
He's like, oh, they're a weird sculpture together now.
Yep. And listen, a lot of the dumb faces are dumb and there's no point to them. His dumb faces here were very expressive. Where he's like, oh, no, yes.
Because he was sculpting.
Because he was sculpting. Yeah. And so he was making all sorts of weird little faces. I like that.
Well, like I told you before we started, too, in the credits of this movie, there's a credit for mime.
Yeah.
And not like a character. Like it's in every other credit. And I think they probably brought a mime in for the funny face coaching.
Teach people to make funny faces. Yep. And they did, and people made some funny fucking faces.
Yes, they did.
Whew. Yep. Okay. So they're dead. And now Carl's off to find Sam's mom and kill her. Turns out, she was just in a
retirement home.
In a retirement home for 50-year-old women who can run.
Thank you.
Like fucking.
She could be an Olympic qualifier.
She's an Olympic sprinter in her 50s with all of her wits about her.
Running upstairs, trucking, sprinting through hallways.
You'd better put her in a fucking home.
And when Carl gets to the nursing home, the orderly at the front desk, he's like, hey, it's a little too late for visitors, you know what I mean? And then he scans him, and he's like, oh, she's in the rec room right now. So wait, it's late? Like, in those homes, they all go to bed early, so it's too late for visitors, but they're all just hanging out in this brightly lit room?
Because they're only in their 50s!
Yeah! so why couldn't they come see them?
I looked it up. That actress is 52 fucking years old. I mean, I was like, there's no way that woman is old enough to be in a retirement home. And then
this makes sense.
I looked her up.
That's hilarious.
Oh my God. Insane. Okay, I loved it. Anyway, but even though she is clearly an Olympic sprinter, she runs upstairs. She's barely winded.
Oh, yeah.
She's like,
she's so fast,
she's
too.
so fast. Evil guy catches her anyway. He starts melting her brain, but she won't let him use her to harm her son. So she jumps out
Swan
the window
dives off
to
the
her
fucking
death,
building. It's like,
backwards.
And damn, man, Scanner Cop was like, I haven't seen my mom in 25 years.
Splat.
But oh, hi, Mom.
That was like, he literally like watches her hit the ground.
Yeah.
Right? Amazing. That
and
is
then he
brutal.
goes over her body, and she's awake not long enough to say, it's a scanner thing. You wouldn't understand.
Scan bros forever, right?
I don't remember what she says. She does say one thing to him before she croaks.
I think it's scan bros forever.
Scan bros forever.
Like, they do their secret handshake that only scanners know. Yeah. So, let's see.
He's like, I'm gonna get you. Oh yeah, it's where he yells, Scanner Cop.
I'm gonna get you.
I'm gonna get you, Scanner Cop.
I mean, it is.
It's your line.
It does make sense.
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, Carl taunts him for a minute and then leaves his dead mom. And then Sam leaves his dead mom like instantly. He's like,
yeah,
okay, I'm done with you. Got to go after this guy. So runs off after Carl. Cops follow him, and they're gonna try to give him backup. But Carl uses his amazing abilities to shut the fire doors and slams them. I don't know how he.
Sam, you mean?
No, Carl does it, right?
Carl doesn't need backup. He's a bad guy.
Oh, sorry. They're backing up Sam.
Yeah.
But Carl slams the fire doors.
Yeah.
Whichever I said. And
then they're like, but how are we going to give you backup? And he's like, you're not.
Yeah. But how does he keep them closed?
He's that strong because he sucked all the scan juice out of everybody.
Is he literally like doing that with like the back of his mind? He's just like
it's
that's
like breathing.
Yeah, he's just running like a separate program in the background. That's crazy. Okay. I got it.
Oh, wait, no, he tripped something, so it made all the fire doors shut. Like, he tripped the fire alarm thing or something like that. So, like, they would just, stay shut.
That makes sense. All right, so Sam remembers that he was told that Carl's dementia was making him susceptible to illusions. So you should remember that, which is good because Carl has murdered 2 people for no fucking reason in here.
Now, here's a big question I have. So maybe you had it too. Are these people really dead?
Yes.
When Sam brings them, so Sam fools Carl by making Carl think
by resurrecting
bodies, walking them.
Fuck yeah.
And then we get some of the sickest face splitting effects.
Yeah.
That maybe queasy, man. They're fucking
and they're screaming
eerie.
As it's going on.
That's what I'm saying. Like, So does this cop reanimate other cops and put these cops through torture?
Yes, I think so.
And double kill them?
Yeah, I think he killed them twice.
It's like a super shitty thing to do.
He brought them back to life so that he could kill them again.
That's what I'm saying.
It's what it seemed like.
That's what it seemed like to me too. Okay.
Okay. But yeah,
great job, Sam. Class act,
real
bro.
fucking class act. But that's what he does. So Carl also kills one of these guys really hilariously.
Oh, the screwdriver?
The screwdriver kill is the dumbest thing I've ever seen.
Whoop, he like uses the force to like make the guy come to him like floating on his toes, and then he just like holds a screwdriver out.
How is that the first thing you think of? Wouldn't the first thing you think of would be to scan the screwdriver into him? Like, it's a lot less heavy. Like, pulled a fucking 200-pound guy across the room instead of throwing a screwdriver.
And he only stabbed him once with one screwdriver. Like,
that guy was probably still alive.
Yeah.
That guy, he might have just...
The other guy hit his head. So both of them are like... The other guy got slammed against the wall. He could have been knocked out, but I think these guys were both still alive.
I think they might have been.
And in pain. And Scanner Cop is just like, get the fuck up, soldier.
Yeah.
I need you as fodder.
I definitely think that's possible. I think it's possible. Yep. But hey,
classy Sam.
He's got to get the job done.
Yeah.
But he does that. He reanimates these two dinguses and makes Vulcan
think they're him.
And so he uses up all of his scanning juice on these first two guys. So he's weak by the time our actual Scanner Cop gets around the corner. Mm-hmm. And last Scanner Cop gets around the corner and takes him by surprise by walking like he's one of the zombies. He does the same kind of like stiff tin soldier walk that the corpses were doing. And then for some reason, so there's a big funny face battle here, and Sam gets real squishy. It looks like Sam's going to start exploding this time because his face gets real squashy. But it turns out that it wasn't enough to kill him. And then Carl gets all froggy-faced, and his face is getting all weird. And it's like, we've been being teased for the whole fucking movie. We haven't had a single head explosion.
But then Carl says, you don't have the balls to kill me. and Sam's like, yeah, dude.
Yeah. Like I totally do.
I do.
Yeah, and this is the juiciest. His head is just full of goo.
Yeah, he's had so much scanner goo in there.
I mean, yeah, that's what adds to the extra juiciness in his head. It's all the scanning. Whatever. He meets up with the hot lady from before. Now they're fucking married and have 15 kids or something. Who fucking
There's
cares?
no ending. It's just like,
I love it.
Let's go home. Boop.
They have no relationship whatsoever.
No, they've never consummated
They met for dinner once and it got interrupted. That's as far as their dating life went. And he puts his arm around her and is like, "Let's go home."
Yeah. What home? Who's home?
Oh, by the way, you live with me now.
Yeah.
We're married.
Perfect.
You think I'm attractive. You don't think I look at all like Brad Dourif. Yep. And that's it.
That's Scanner Cop 2. That's a very meaty story. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, this is one of our shortest episodes because there was nothing in it.
Yeah. Well, I swear, probably 25 minutes of the runtime is people going, looking at each other.
So much of it is that. And so much of it is just the same shit repeated over and over again.
Yeah.
Because there is no subplot.
And there's no subplot. And that's the other problem. Like, it's a melt movie, and all he does is make people melt. But, like, he doesn't. There's no, like, cool deaths where he scans things to make shit happen in a room. You know what I mean?
Yeah. No, it's all the same.
It's all the same. Every time he gets there, he just sucks somebody dry. Yeah,
they are.
Cool.
The effects look really good,
yes.
but they're not varied.
Exactly. Yeah.
Agree.
But super fun movie.
Well, they're not varied until the end because those scans at the end.
Oh, with the face
when
split?
He kills the corpses.
Yeah, they're crazy.
They are crazy.
That one guy that had the first face split. I was just like, ah! Like it literally made me like, ugh.
Yeah, that was really disturbing until he hit the floor and then it looked like a mask.
Yes.
But when it happened,
yeah. Oh my gosh.
So good. It's
Calm down, John.
Yeah. It's so weird that they didn't just put him down on the floor with that exact appliance on. It's like, that looked so good.
Yep.
Why show him after that looking shitty? I don't get it. I mean, whatever.
Maybe it broke apart further. And
it might just not have looked good.
Yep.
But either way, man, effects on point.
Yep.
We did get our exploding head. We got probably one of cinema's juiciest exploding heads. So we did at least get that. And it's another Scanner Cop movie. Yep. I love these things. They're dumb as posts, but...
It needed to be more sleazy.
I totally agree with you.
We had 3 extremely attractive women characters and no nudity whatsoever.
It's weird. There was nothing. Like this was like that. It was like kind of a gritty movie.
I'm gonna go pervo. Give me that nudity.
No,
Give me nuns.
I agree. But there was like do something.
Yeah.
Do something weird or gross or different or whatever.
Yep.
There wasn't even anything like. There wasn't even really anything sleazy except for the guy in the alleyway. Like that moment was like, oh, this is the tone that this should have gone for. Mm-hmm. Like with the pickpocket and the greasy alleyway.
Yep.
It should have been more of that. You should have had more like gross New York kind of moments.
Yeah.
But they didn't do that.
Nope.
Yeah.
But overall, super fun. I'm glad I watched it. I'd never seen it before.
Yeah, it's I haven't seen it since I saw it last on Cinemax in like 1980 whatever or 1990
It's a very fun,
whatever.
It's a breezy watch. It never, like you said, there's no subplot, so it never bogs down except for the redundancy and kills. But like it never takes a lull.
I mean, so the thing is that there is a subplot, but they just never do anything with it. The subplot is the mother. But it doesn't exist.
It's just a place to go.
Right, because the whole thing, it's something that I think was a subplot and then was turned into a MacGuffin through editing or lack of funds or
lack of fun. Like,
right,
who cares about some guy trying to find his mom?
Right, exactly. Especially in the middle of a movie about people who make people's heads explode.
Yes.
Like that's not.
Like, I really hope he finds his mom that we've never met and don't know and don't care about.
That he's never seen
for 25 years for what reason? Yeah.
Like, what kept them apart?
Mm-hmm.
I don't understand. That, like, he's living with his abusive, insane scanner dad.
Yeah.
And she's like, yeah, take the kid and go. It's like...
Take the kid and scan.
Hey, I got a great idea. Take the kid away from the fucking crazy scanner dad. I think he'll be safer.
Mm-hmm.
But no, nope. She's like, I don't know. I like playing canasta. She's probably been there since she was in her 30s. Ugh. Fucking scanner mom.
Scanner Olympic mom.
Olympic sprinter scanner mom. Not a good mother, but a great runner.
Yes.
So that's it.
That's it for Scanner Cop 2.
That's it for Scanner Cop 2. You can buy things from Coast City Comics. You can follow us at coastcitycomics.com.
We're coming to you from Coast City Comics,
yes.
So you could just come in here and say hi to us.
In fact, it is true. Yeah.
If I'm not here, just page me. I'm usually just next door. I'll pop back in.
Yeah, totally. And also you can follow us at the Funbox Monster Podcast on Instagram.
And you can follow me at Matt Awkward, VHS Fiend, and you can go to coastcitycomics.com and buy yourself a Funbox Monster Podcast t-shirt if Tristan made any more.
Yes, if I did that, which I haven't.
But there's lots of other shirts you can get.
Listen, I have a giant order of Boglin shirts to make this week, so I'm...
Do you want the one I'm wearing right now?
No,
Does that help you out?
It's a new design.
Oh, okay. Oh, fuck, I'm obsolete.
I'm sorry, Tim sent a new design. It's actually really nice. It's got the bat Boglins on it. It's great.
But yes, I'm wearing a great Boglin shirt right now that I purchased at Coast City Comics.
Yeah, and I'm wearing a Covered in Bees shirt, and Covered in Bees does the music for this thing. So thank you to Covered in Bees, which is a thing that I play drums for. And that's it. That's a movie. That's the podcast. That's how it goes. Yeah. I'm going to go home and go to sleep.
Halloween Ends was fantastic.
Nice. Tell them.
Yeah. Just
fine. Did. All right. I thought Thor: Love and Thunder was really good too.
Yeah.
So screw everybody with bad opinions.
And The Pest with John Leguizamo is amazing.
Okay, we can disagree on that one, unfortunately. John Leguizamo is an American treasure, though. I will admit to that.
As is The Pest. Pieces.
Good night.